Mostly Nino's side, English cooking's alright.
Hey, listen.
Okay, can we?
Do you like oil and shit?
I cook delicious fucking food. Dutch people, different story.
Okay, hold on.
Very different story.
Hang on, fellas. I gotta fucking fix something here. I just figured out the audio now.
We've just been wasting gold while the audience can't hear us.
Yeah. Why the fuck are you doing that? Time is money, Fred. For fuck's sake. Okay. Should be able to hear us now.
Hello. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Big PP.
Go type
I have
in the
some
chat.
tickles and I'd like to test them.
All right, now it's good.
Type in the chat bottle if you can hear us.
Blink twice if you're at
Yeah,
hospital.
no, I can hear us on the replay.
Okay. Now the stream is just skipping frames. Wonderful. Because I am running this thing now. But yes, to explain again, because nobody heard it the first time. Chad's not here today because he's got family coming in and he has to prepare for that. So it's just me, Nino, and Chad here with two new guests. Nino's friends, Jacob,
Chad's gone.
and Fred. Fuck, sorry.
I'm not even Fred anymore.
Everything's going to shit today, but anyways.
That's the podcast in business, baby.
How the heck are you?
Anyways, two new guests today, Jacob and Capitano Britbong. Just randomly joining here.
Just call me Jay.
Thank you
Yes.
for having me.
Namaste.
Yeah. So So we're basically just doing this podcast to shoot the shit about any random things. First thing I want to bring up is I was looking up on the Xbox store recently, just seeing what new games have been coming out, what the hell has been coming with. There's a game called Save Room that just came out, and it's literally just it's literally just the fucking Resident Evil 4 inventory made into a game.
I put that on my wish list. It's like £2. I'm probably gonna fucking buy it at some point.
Yo, I'll buy it.
Jesus. It's like, why?
You know it's on sale right now, like 90% off. I was playing it just before I hung out with Nino. It's
I saw it
Earth
advertised
Defense
before it
Force.
was actually, actually came out.
Fuck yeah, I haven't played Earth Defense Force in fucking ages.
Good game. Any of you boys ever played EDF, Earth Defense Force?
I saw.
I've never played it myself.
Yeah, I never
Really?
played it.
Oh man, fantastic.
But you know what I did?
Fantastic game.
A long time ago, I used to watch Rage Quit from Achievement Hunter, and I saw Michael playing that game on there. It's one ant! It's
a fantastic
one
game.
fucking ant! Really? Come on!
I know about it. Like I watched, the channel Russian Badger. He did a video on it, and it obviously looked like 10 tons of fun. So I was just like, I'm fucking smoking myself out of here. Smoke
It's a lot of
bombing
fun.
the
The
stream.
multiplayer is really great. It's like 90% off on Steam right now. I recommend it if you want to check something out and spend $2. It's a lot of fun. It's barrels of fun.
Which one?
Earth Defense Force 4.1.
I was gonna say you can't just say Earth Defense Force because there's like 40 of them.
Yeah, 4.1. I think it's like the hold on, let me get the exact name.
I got it.
Shadow of New Despair. Ooh, spooky
like
name.
Dynasty
That's a fairly like generic title, but then also it sort of means something at the same time.
Shadow of
What's
the Nude
the,
Spear.
What's the gameplay like? How is it?
It's a third-person shooter. It's like a wave shooter, so like waves of giant insects trying to destroy a city, and you and your team are trying to stop them from doing that. As you progress through the game, you pick up new weapons and upgrades for your current stat, and each level has different kind of types of enemies. They're flying enemies, so you'd have to use like an anti-air loadout to deal with those, or they're underground enemies that you would have to use like kind of explodey kind of stuff. So you kind of adjust your loadout to whatever the level kind of calls for.
Right.
And it's a lot of fun. It's multiplayer. I highly recommend.
Okay.
I'm just gonna boil down what you said. Just blow shit up. You're done. No, that's all you need to say. Just blow shit up.
That could be a lot of games, really. Like
I'm doing
Doom.
it right now.
All right, cool. It's a good game. You won't regret it. We'll have to play sometime.
Speaking of Doom, though, anybody heard about the fucking recent Mick Gordon shit's been going on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't know exactly what it's about.
Basically, what happened was, to my knowledge, apparently Mick Gordon came up with like this fucking book-long statement, like whole novel going into great detail about like what his treatment was like at Bethesda, coming around the time of recording the soundtrack for Doom Eternal. And this guy Marty was apparently has some sort of fucking vendetta against him that he's just willing to lie against him. Apparently, he went to awards shows in Mick Gordon's name to get his trophies, but never give them to him, and just basically just fucking him over. And just making
So
up
this
a
guy's
whole.
just got like loads of awards in his house that just say Mick Gordon on.
Yeah, that
Like-
whole situation is fucking.
That's a part of the story, yeah.
id Software hasn't been the same since like Todd Hollinshead left, like fucking John Carmack left, like everyone who made id what it was has left. It doesn't even feel like the same company anymore personally.
Yeah.
People
They went off and made a new id software. They made UD software instead.
No, surprisingly enough, John Carmack left and became one of the lead developers behind Oculus for Facebook.
Yeah, that's right.
So he sold out. Okay.
I mean, he made a lot of
Fucking
money. I
Facebook.
was at so I was lucky enough back before Facebook was even involved with Oculus. So originally, the first Oculus Rift was made by this really young, smart guy named Palmer Luckey, and he like showed John Carmack, and John Carmack helped cleaned up his code because John Carmack's like a programming wizard, right? He's like a genius, modern, like he's incredible. So it was at QuakeCon 2012. I went to John Carmack's keynote speech, and he was just talking about like game optimization and like what's like working in the new id Tech engine and what changes they're making. Lots of like really techie stuff.
Yeah.
And if you've ever been to any of John Carmack's lectures, they're long and winded and drawn out. And usually by the end of it, there are like two people still there. And I just happened to be one of those two people still there. So once he left, everyone left. He's like, all right, well, for sticking through, you guys want to see something really cool. And he pulled out like the first Oculus, and it was literally just like wood and duct tape and lenses and everything. He was like, this is something that me and my buddy Palmer have been working on. I got the opportunity to try that out. Man, it was awful, but it was so cool at the time.
You know, when his speech was finished, and like he went quiet for a moment because there's only like two people left. You just go, woo!
I made it. I made it. To be honest, the only reason I sat through the entire lecture is because the exhibit hall was like packed and there was nowhere to sit down. So it's like I can at least sit down here.
That's how you know you're down bad when you're just like, I can't be asked. I need somewhere to sit down. I'll go watch this boring lecture instead.
I'll just sit through this 2.5-hour lecture on video game physics and bullet travel distance and
Rendering, like selective rendering and hypertexture. This is like when hypertextures were
Question
becoming a thing.
is,
yeah.
did you learn anything other than the
Yeah,
Oculus?
I learned about hypertextures. So this was like around the time you know the game Rage, like id Software.
Yeah.
Rage? So that game, the way they accomplished such low loading times across such a big map is they utilized what are called hypertextures, meaning the map isn't like repeating textures or anything. It's not like, okay, well, this is a wall texture and that'll repeat. This is a floor. This is a soil texture and that'll repeat. No. The entire map is just one big texture laid out, right? So everything's like super high quality and super low loading times and everything, but it's just fucking gigantic.
Yeah.
Is the problem, and it's really hard to optimize. But Rage, so the lecture primarily was about how they were tackling hypertextures for their upcoming game, which turned out to be Rage, because they're like, we don't want like every time you open a door, there's a loading time. Every time you have a change of environment, no, it's just one big texture and you do all the loading at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's old now, but at the time it was really innovative.
Well, these days, all sorts of games like the loading times have essentially just gone out the window. Like they're either hidden or they're so quick that you barely even notice they're there anymore.
Yeah, kids these days have it good.
They have no
Yeah.
idea.
You know what's fun about loading times? Have you ever played a game that's like 10 years old on like a modern PC, and where you have to wait like 5 minutes for it to load? It's just instant now. Like Skyrim, you ever play Skyrim and it just instantly loads. All that fun of waiting's gone.
Yeah. Some kid plays
Skyrim, man.
an older game
That-
today. It's like loading. What does the game have to load for? Shouldn't it already be there?
Yeah, it's on my computer. I've already downloaded it. Why does it have to queue it up, right? But no, speaking of Skyrim, one project that I cannot wait, and I'm sure you guys and your audience can agree, the new Elder Scrolls game. what little information we have about it. Guys, we were playing Skyrim in high school.
Yeah.
Like, that's how long it's been.
I still remember the first time I saw the actual trailer for Skyrim. The first trailer before it actually came out, and I was just like, well, that makes me feel old.
That was like a decade ago.
That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
There's another funny 11 put to fucking Skyrim. It was released
Keep
on
putting more
11/11, and it's 11 years later now.
I remember the
How
first
long
thing I
it's been,
saw
man.
of the first thing I saw of Skyrim was my brother looking up a video of a guy who's up on a mountain and he just sends a bunch of fucking cheese wheels running down the mountain.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I saw of
Cheese.
that.
Was it Sheogorath, the god of cheese from that was an Oblivion.
The god of cheese.
It's like,
Well, he's not the god of cheese. He's the god. Sheogorath is the god of madness, but like one of his things is he would like make cheese fall from the sky. And stuff like that.
throw the cheese!
Yeah, Sheogorath
Yeah.
is a fun character. It's Shivering Isles DLC for Oblivion. It's good stuff.
Oh, top tier.
Yeah. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
I know the Elder Scrolls in general has had just very weird sort of realms with DLC.
Mm.
It's like it's either good or it's abysmal. There's no sort of middle ground.
As we expect from Bethesda.
Yeah,
It just
Well, I
works.
think
they're the Nick
Bethesda's-
Cage of gaming companies. They're just either really good or really bad.
Well, they're just letting other people do their homework now. I mean, with
Yeah.
the whole modding community. Remember when they tried to charge people for other people's mods? You remember that?
Well, they eventually
could
did
get-
that. They eventually just released it and just went, fuck it.
Well, that's Anniversary Edition just had like player-made mods just like whacked in with the game, and then they just charged full price for it.
Well, yeah, but it's like, fair enough.
They tried to make their own mod marketplace, though, if you remember.
Yeah.
It, like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That
it was
the
like
original
very
idea.
short-lived. It was very short-lived because it was met with huge backlash.
But people were just get them for free anyway. So
Isn't that kind of like the Creation Club thing they got going on now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
that's,
yeah,
what,
yeah.
that's what that was. Like originally the mod marketplace was this. They were going to start charging people for mods, but then they just went, let's rebrand this Creation Club. It's the same thing, but we just named it something else.
Just a shiny new coat on a big old turd.
They want you to forget about that one. Kind of like with PayPal. Remember whenever PayPal updated their terms of service? Do you guys see that? You know that PayPal updated their terms of service where, like, if you do anything that is defamatory to PayPal's brand, that they can charge you like $2,100 or some shit like that,
Like,
What?
just directly out of your account.
Well,
good thing
that's terrible.
I got
Yeah.
locked.
At least in like normal defamation cases, you have to go through courts in order to get
Yeah.
the money. This they can just take it because they're attached to your account anyway.
Yeah. They updated their terms of service to include that. The whole internet caught on fire with it. Said no, fuck you. And then they said, okay, no, that was a mistake. We did it by accident. So they removed it, and then they put it back in like a few months later.
Accident. They just thought no one would notice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is.
Change the game and they'll keep playing because they're stupid.
Yeah, but as you say, they snuck it back in again later.
Yeah.
And then someone's going to defame them, and then suddenly it'll just be a case of PayPal just sneaking up behind you, just going. Turns out the game was rigged from the start.
Oh, not even defame them, but say just say
Just anything
something that could be
defamatory in general.
defamatory to their brand. So let's say maybe like you author a political book that I don't know may be considered problematic in the whole social zeitgeist, and if you accept PayPal as a payment, then PayPal can consider that as
Well, PayPal's a
Harmful
third
to their
party. They've got
brand.
nothing to do with. They just fulfill payments. They don't actually have anything to do with what they're selling. What they're not selling it for you.
yeah.
They're just
Yeah, but people are
accepting money
stupid.
on your behalf.
Yeah, but people are stupid, man. They say you're endorsing this if you are a payment processor for them. You're clearly endorsing it. It's like no, we're not. But because they did it with like what they do with like Joe Rogan, they did it with like Alex Jones and everything. And whether it's justified or not is not my place to say. But I know, it's like they've already done it, so they've set the precedent that they can. So now people expect them to. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Well, this is the problem: is people have been doing this too much. Is that they've given power to people who shouldn't have power.
Mm.
They've said you can't have power. you just no power for you. But in reality, you just said, nah, you can just get away with it. Just whatever you like. You want to ban this? Fair enough, ban now. And just you should never give people that much power.
Not just giving people power, but just like giving words and sentences so much fucking power.
Oh yeah.
These words hold no leverage. Over
Oh yeah, it's the
in
it's the
any way,
Voldemort
shape, or
thing.
form.
It's like you've made it scary because you refuse to say it.
The words you cannot utter. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like I think Dave Chappelle handled his whole thing really, really well. Whenever a bunch of people went after him, he's like, "Look, it's a comedy show. It's a joke. Context of the what you're upset about is that I'm not being serious and that it is a joke.
Yeah.
You know, if you choose to hold what I'm saying closely to your heart and interpret it as something very serious, then that's your fault. Like remember the context of me saying it was at a comedy show.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
like
look, comedy is one of those things of like it's subjective but it's also objective at the same time. It's kind of a bit weird like that because on the one hand, as like what makes you laugh is subjective entirely. But on the other hand, comedy is actually an objective thing that can be observed in the sense of like, you know, if something's funny or not. Like if it's actually, you know, good comedy or not.
And I think like if you choose to go to a comedy show, that's kind of like an unwritten contract between the performer and the audience saying, okay, like you're responsible for what you say, but I'm also responsible for what I hear because I showed up, I bought the ticket, I put my ass in a seat,
I
and
think they should
I'm
start,
willingly
like,
subjecting myself to this. So I
think they
bear
should
some
start, like,
responsibility.
whenever you
as well.
buy a ticket, you have to sign the contract. You have to actually sign a contract saying that the comedian will say really dumb shit, but on the other hand, you are not allowed to say shit because
Yeah,
it's
like
comedy.
you're
That's it.
willingly
Just
subjecting
don't
yourself to
say
this.
Yeah. The comedian will say the N word a total of 17 times.
Kramer went up there and just. But no, like if you're sitting in a seat at a comedy show, you bear some responsibility because you're subjecting yourself. That's like going to Splash Mountain and complaining you got wet.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you bear some responsibility for getting wet. I'm sorry.
That's especially because you paid for it.
Yeah.
You paid to be there. I hope you
I went to see Dave Chappelle and he said all this shit about gay people and I was like, yeah, it's Dave Chappelle. It's a joke.
The thing about Dave Chappelle is he's like a ninja at dodging laser beams as well.
Oh yeah, he's so good
Like,
at it.
A ninja, you say?
Said ninja, yeah.
Yeah,
And
okay.
we shan't be having words like that in this
A Fortnite
podcast.
ninja.
Right, stereotypical against.
Yeah, because you know they banned the word ninja in the UK. That's why I call them Well, that's why I call them Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles in the UK because apparently the UK thought ninja was a bad word.
I
and
just
wants
call
to.
them Ninja Turtles anyway. Like, I don't give a shit about the UK government.
Wait, are you gaslighting or is that true? Are they really called Teenage Mutant Heroes?
No, that's
They are called
not
Hero
bullshit.
Turtles here.
Yeah,
Really? I had no idea.
You need
yeah. And they called.
Because they like, are they afraid that like the word ninja is gonna be offensive to East Asians or something?
I don't know. But it's like the same
That's
reason they
weird.
fucking renamed Sly Cooper to Sly Raccoon. Because apparently Cooper means
Yeah.
something really bad there.
I'm not 100% sure what that is. I'm not sure what it means, Cooper.
I'm not racist enough. I don't know that slur. I need to step
don't
up.
know.
I need to step up my game. What am I? Come on,
Go get on my level.
You need to spend more time with me.
And apparently
We're all
that
set in England. We're all born racist.
yeah, apparently that PS1 game as well, Tomba. It was originally called Tomba, but they called it Tombi for European regions because apparently the word Tomba in Italian means grave. So I guess they didn't want to promote that. That's what I've heard anyway.
Well, just do that in fucking Italy, then. Don't punish the rest of Europe.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, as somebody who's done localization for like content, like for a living, I don't understand some decisions. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm doing a show right now where like there's a scene in the show where like these bullies are telling the main character, "Hey, go get us some yakisoba pan." What yakisoba pan is like it's like a hot dog bun stuffed with fried noodles. It's really popular in Japan.
That
But
sounds
for some
actually
reason,
quite delicious.
yeah, it's very good. It's a carbohydrates on carbohydrates on carbohydrates. It's really good. It's a very common snack. in Japan.
Delicious.
Very, very common snack. And so when I got the scripts in and I was translating the scripts because that was my job, I translated it as yakisoba pan, but the localization team changed it to hot dogs. It's like, I don't know why they do this. Like, I mean, Western audiences aren't stupid. They can get the concept that, you know, food in Japan is different. And, you know, they might actually learn something. But I don't know, like, localization in general is just really a really weird thing that I would like to shy away from it, you know.
I don't know. It's like whenever I watch anime, like whenever they say something odd or just generally something that I don't understand, I'll just go like, oh, it's probably something Japanese I don't understand. And I'll either look it up or I'll just move on.
Like a lot of modern anime, for example, a lot of localization happens with, for example, they'll make a joke about like a former prime minister or something like that in the anime, something that like a Western audience would have no idea what they're talking about, and they'll just like localize the shit out of it to be like a dick joke or something, you know. But like, why? Like, I don't understand like why the local. I would feel as a writer. Kind of disrespected is if some American licensed my show for me and then just changed a bunch of stuff in the script, you know? I would be upset. I was like, this is my story. And as somebody who has done localization in the anime scene, the license, like, distributor, the writer rarely has any say, and it usually just, okay, well, we've got a week to get this dub done, so we'll translate it, we'll, like, alter the length of the lines to fit the flaps, right? So, like, for example, if I have 2 flaps, like, the character goes bop, bop, right? And the line is like, I don't know, what's going on here? You know, like, it's not, what's going on here? Like, that's way too many. So they might change what's going on here to, like, what are you doing? Right? Just what are you doing? That's, like, quick and 2. Versus what's going, like, those kind of changes I could see because to match the lip movements and stuff like that. But like,
Oh yeah, it's like those old the old dubs you'd see where they move their mouth like twice and then suddenly it was about a full sentence.
Nowadays we
It
try to
doesn't make
adjust
any
the
sense.
script. Nowadays we try to adjust the script in a respectful way to make sure it matches. But like under the guise of that, they'll change like major things in the story, and the writers have no say in it because everyone's on such a tight schedule to get it done. You know what I mean? Which I think is a shame. Especially when you're working with like pieces that have cultural significance, or like it's an anime that like I don't know, maybe they're making a reference to like a Japanese folktale or something that the Japanese audience would know about, the Western audience wouldn't. It'd be a good opportunity to like educate the Western audience on Japanese culture, but they just usually just like, oh nope, they're just gonna localize the shit out of it and change it to like a boob joke.
Or if it's like Bobobo, where it's like the one scene where they're all eating natto, and Bobobo's like, oh, by the way, these beans have spider webs in them.
Oh, you're talking about natto? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've ever had natto, it's very stringy. It's a fermented bean that's very stringy and gross. I fucking hate natto. It's just rotten beans. Imagine beans that are so rotten that whenever you like pick them up, like slime just.
Yeah.
It's gross. I hate it.
And the Ghost Stories dub. I had no idea till recently that the meme clip that people were showing around was like the actual dub for that series.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That dub would not fly today. Oh, could you imagine?
Oh
Jesus.
my God.
His laugh.
I think it's hilarious.
Fired.
I love it. I think it's hilarious. I think it's like I'm a big fan of stuff like that when it's done with permission. And they did have full permission from the writers to do that. But man, that would never fly these days. Ever. Like those types of jokes. Whoever wrote that dub would not be working today if they kept that up.
They would be hung in the public square.
The thing is, like, I know some of the people personally who worked on that show, and like they are not okay with that kind of humor now, which I think is kind of funny and ironic.
Well, that's the problem is that humor changes, of course, but you can't just sit there and just say like, oh yes, that humor is not okay because it's in the past. It's the past. Humor was different then. You can't sit there and well, it's like people saying that things in the past were problematic. You can't say that because it was in the past. Values were different then.
Even disregarding the past, if one of those voice actors was like, "Oh, you can't say that. That's offensive. This and that." Be like, weren't you in fucking Ghost Stories? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Didn't you like help write Ghost Stories? Like, Remember, that wasn't the original script. You can't just say, "Oh, I get the script and I read it." Oh no! You guys wrote the script.
Someone had to write that. They didn't know what to do with it, so you had full carte blanche.
Like you can't just say, "Oh, you don't know how the industry works." You can't industry it with me. I know how the industry works. I work in the industry too. Okay. I know
I'll
how
play
much
your
writing
game.
happens in the booth.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Especially with silly projects like that. And it's okay. I think it's fine. I think it's hilarious. I'm on your team. The only person upset here is you, and you did the work.
Yeah. It's all about some social brownie points, man. Ask Aaron Hansen.
It's weird.
That's really all it is. It's brownie points and getting a leg up in the industry. That's all.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't just like, just work. Just do the work. Be quiet. Keep your nose down.
Yeah.
Just do the work. You're
get
an
paid
actor.
honest.
Act.
Yeah. You're a performing monkey. Clang your cymbals.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's like oh my god. If I doubt this would ever happen, but if anybody who is a fan of my work who has ever seen me voice act in anything, don't ever listen to my political opinions. My politics are probably shit.
Oh, fuck.
Like I'm not an expert. Like if I probably wouldn't give political opinions.
Mostly because I don't care
Some
for it.
Give
guy.
some, just not in public.
I'm an actor. Like why are you taking political pundits from actors? It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, my world is completely detached from yours. Like I don't go to a 9 to 5. I wake up when I want to and I talk into
Oh
it.
yeah, you see this shit all the time where like actors who do just normal stuff. There's normal acting, but then they sit there and they act like they're activists because they posted a tweet once.
Yeah.
Um,
Tara Strong.
Them
Well, they feel like oh, I have a platform, therefore it's my response. It's irresponsible for me not to. I'm like, look, dude, just because you have a platform doesn't mean you are compelled to use it. And that's really weird because like people on the internet think that's the case. Like, oh, you have 20,000 followers. It's your responsibility to make sure that you spread our message to your follower. Like, I didn't ask for any of this. Like,
I'm
Like-
just making stupid videos on the internet.
yeah, like I'm just doing my thing, man. I'm making a living. I'm feeding my family. Like, if these people are holding my opinions and my politics to heart, then that's not my fault. You know.
Well, it's like this channel, for example. Like if it suddenly got massive and then people start complaining that they didn't like our views or something on subjects,
Well, then go fuck yourself.
then get fucked. Unsubscribe. We don't
Go
care.
find someone else with the views that you want.
There is a million podcasts out there. You'll find one you like.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
even if
Joe
we
Rogan.
disagree on one thing, I'm sure we agree on other stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Like how Yoshi's cloaca is fucking gigantic.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, canonically. Yoshi's cloaca is canonically the largest cloaca in the Mario universe. One so large, in fact, that it can fit up to 5 Empire State Buildings inside of it. Matt Pat said it himself in Game Grumps, episode 7.
Exactly.
Game Grumps.
Yeah. I mean, in Game Theory, he was like, "Hello, internet. Today on Game Theory, we're gonna find out how many Empire State Buildings we can fit inside Yoshi's cloaca." Remember that episode of Game
You were
Grumps?
so good at
Game
that. I
Theory.
love it.
Game Theory.
You keep
Yeah.
saying Game Grumps.
Episode of Game Grumps.
All right, you're fired. You're not coming back on the podcast.
Hey, I'm Grump. I make the theories.
Is that Chris Oni plays?
Yeah, it's Chris Oni plays from fucking Brett and Link.
From fucking Good Mythical Morning.
Yeah.
With his son Bohij.
All big YouTubers are all the same. Fuck them.
Yeah.
I fucking my favorite Game Grumps, my favorite Grump in Game Grumps is like fucking PewDiePie from JonTron.
JonTron. That was fucking great.
Yeah.
I can't believe PewDiePie punched JonTron's girlfriend in the face.
Yeah,
I've never
PewDiePie
heard
punched.
this.
He punched JonTron's girlfriend in the face, and Scott the Woz like started dating her immediately after. It was weird.
It was so weird.
Fucking slime and steps in and goes, I'll protect you from being punched in the face by you."
Jesus Christ.
I feel bad for I feel bad for dragging Scott in. He's such a sweet, genuine guy. Like,
He just comes into the situation like, "Hey y'all, Scott here. I'm dating your wife."
Hello? Please fuck me.
I could see somebody going
Jesus
off on a
Christ.
whole fucking rant. They're pointing at all these YouTubers and like, "Fuck you, fuck you, and they get to Scott the Woz and they look at him and he's like, you're on thin ice.
It's
Scott's
just
like, what did I do?
Fuck you, you're okay. Fuck you.
I love how I was like, you're on thin ice, as if he's ever done anything wrong ever.
Scott the Woz has never done a damn thing wrong in his entire life.
Well, that's the problem. Is like a lot of these YouTubers, like they do like one thing wrong, and I say wrong in big quotation marks. And then suddenly they're just like most hated person on the internet. They go, like their content is good.
Like, I can't believe this person.
Oh, like PewDiePie, for
I
example.
can't believe that they didn't say Black Lives Matter in a video.
Well, the thing about PewDiePie is like he's like, you know what? Fuck you. Like you can say what you want. Like he had he had like CNN and shit trying to fucking cancel him. He's like, I'm just gonna keep making videos.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem is because he got so big that he started to actually threaten those actual TV like stations, like those actual places. And
Oh, I'm sure
that's
he
when
gets
you know
way
you've got
better
power.
reviews.
When you start
I-
threatening like
Yeah,
institutions.
PewDiePie has a much larger audience than CNN. I guarantee you, he gets like 50 times the views.
Well, that's the problem. That's why they wanted to get him cancelled by like dragging up anything and everything.
Yeah. Well, what's
Like he even survived that whole Gamer Word incident.
Yeah.
He survived that. You can't defeat him. He's impossible.
Like, did he wear like an SS uniform in one of his videos too? Or something like that?
He had like an SS uniform on. He did like the Vietnam flashback with the Hitler speech in the background.
It's funny, okay? Context
You
matters.
can't defeat him. He's too powerful.
Context
And you know what? Like,
matters.
nobody with a brain gave a shit, and that's why he like still is the fucking king. Like that's why he's still all the way up there.
Everybody
Like
loves-
even Mr. Beast, like after all that, Mr. Beast was still like putting up billboards, subscribe to PewDiePie and that whole T-Series thing. Remember?
Yeah.
Like, and everyone was hating on Mr. Beast because he was supporting PewDiePie. I was like, Mr. Beast literally like every week gives $10,000 to like multiple homeless people.
He's like one of the biggest like philanthropists out there. Like how the
They're
fuck
like,
can you
no,
hate
you're
him?
a Nazi because you want people to subscribe to PewDiePie. Like, this is Mr. Beast you're talking about. I'm sure he's changed more lives directly than anybody else I can think of.
Oh, have you seen these ads on YouTube like recently?
That
When
suck.
It's just like it's advertising as if it's Mr. Beast,
Yeah.
and it's just saying like, you click on this page and you get $1,000. I feel like
I saw one. I saw one. It was like, I saw one where like it was like a fucking Christian ad. As like Moms Against YouTube or something, like Moms Against or whatever. And it had a picture of Jimmy from Mr. Beast with like red eyes, and it said, "Will you accept the mark of the beast?"
Oh my god.
Most evil man on YouTube.
Like they call him Mr. Beast because he's a Luciferian worshiper. Don't accept the mark of the beast. I'm pretty sure it's just because like his logo is like a lion or whatever.
Fucking moms against you.
He's gonna
Why not
get
just moms against the world?
666
Because they seem to hate everything.
He's gonna get to 666 million. He's just gonna perform some weird ritual, and the entire Earth's just gonna explode.
That's it.
Maybe that's
Mr.
where
Beast,
he's getting all his
Mr.
money
Beast is the
from.
Antichrist. We figured it out.
But that's where he's getting all his money from, because he's actually the devil.
Yeah. He's fucking Asmodeus, Lucifer, Satan, whatever you want to call him.
Jesus.
Bahamut, Baal, Beelzebub, whatever you want to call him. It's Mr. Beast. It's just Mr. Beast. It's just Jimmy.
Anyway, I hate these mums against fucking everything, because
Yeah.
I was hating everything before they were, so they can get fucked. Fucking posers.
Those moms sure have an awful lot of time on their hands. Maybe they should spend it with their children.
I know, yeah, spend time with children. Fuck the milkman, I don't care.
Yeah.
Just do something.
Yeah, spend time with the children that you
play with
keep.
them.
Yeah, spend time with the children to keep shoving in front of the fucking iPad screens that you complain so much about. Thoughts! Use them!
Don't start doing that, because eventually that might be up to some of our audience, so... I'm going to take that back, Thomas.
My fucking sister does that constantly. She
never.
gives her children a fucking phone or a tablet and she's like, yeah, go at it. Like, your children are gonna grow up to be, I was gonna say gamer word, dumbass.
You'll be fucking stupid.
Banned me now.
Absolute tards.
Like I have a 2-year-old or 1 month, 1 year, 8 months, but close enough. If I'm not working, I'm with him. We're chilling. We're fucking watching cartoons or playing rolling a ball back and forth and fucking teaching each other.
Is that baby yours, or did you just find it?
No, it's I found it. It was.
Was it a
at
prom
Toys
night
R Us.
dumpster baby?
No, it was at a Toys R Us. It was wandering around.
You were just on the shelf.
Yeah,
Someone
it's
had
just
left
wandering
it
around.
there.
It's like, have you seen my parents? I'm like, it's me, your father. I just took him. Just took him. You can do that. You can like take kids, right?
Yeah,
That's
if
something you
go
can
to-
do. You just take them.
If you go to
It's
the
fine.
IKEA, there's just a little section with all these kids playing around. You can just take them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just take 'em.
no one's watching them.
Their moms are on iPads.
What's the girl behind the counter gonna do? Are you one of their dads? Yes.
What, do you want my
This is a
ID?
joke, by the way, audience. This is a joke. My son is mine.
He isn't.
He came out of my
Kidnapped-
wife's
and you
pussy.
kidnapped him.
I'm sorry. Can
It
I say?
did.
Can I say that? Can I say pussy?
Yeah.
Fucking Lucy.
Okay.
That's a fucking wussy.
That's a fucking pussy.
We killed Thomas.
Look, I cummed in a girl, and 9.5 months later, a kid popped out.
No, you didn't just.
You can't
come
say
out,
that.
you
You
came
can't say
a
the
lot.
C word. You can't say the C word online.
I can't say cum. Damn.
You fucking consistently splooged in your wife for about
That's
months
better.
and months.
Splooge is better.
What can I say, baby?
Thomas isn't coming back.
Huh?
Oh, sorry, that just fucking killed me, man. Absolutely. God damn it.
That was a Freudian slip of
I don't know why that made me laugh so much. That was just perfect.
What can I say? What can I say? They're great.
I came in a girl. The great Aku came back from the past to fight demons. That's what
I
Aku
would
means. It means
samurai
demon in Japanese. We love the
I
Japanese.
would
don't we?
just like to. I would just like to take an aside and just say, if anyone's actually still in the audience, or if ever were in the audience, I do apologise for anything that Louis may have said.
You just take
Well,
them.
it's all
You
me.
take kids.
I'm the
Just
innocent,
take 'em.
innocent little lamb here.
Offer them some candy. No, I'm right to you.
Yeah, crack up fucking ginger ale.
They're fucking candy is like fucking crack for kids, man.
Actually, that
No,
doesn't
my
work
son has
anymore.
never
You
had a
have to
piece of candy in his life.
That's
It'll happen.
my
My wife's
we
been
have to
about
offer them
that.
Robux.
Yeah. That's how like pedophiles in the future are gonna get kids. They like have V-Bucks cards and shit instead of candy.
$19 Fortnite cards.
Just gonna have one of those big like windowless vans that just says free V-Bucks inside.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey,
Genius.
kid, want a chug jug?
Real chug jugs.
Yeah.
Just fucking synthesized Rufalin.
Just drink it.
I don't care what you smell, just drink it.
Just quickly, Thomas, is there actually anyone in the audience? Or are we just talking bullshit?
but-
It says there's like a few viewers in here. New Vestroya, Dr. Dell just joined in a little bit ago.
What's
Hello.
poppin', Playboys?
Hanging, homie.
What's up, girls? Anyway,
Yeah, no, don't steal children. So,
Yeah, well,
Don't steal
Don't
shit.
don't do
that's
that.
probably,
We must take a
that's probably not a good
stand.
idea.
legal disclaimer: we are joking. This is comedy, haha.
My son is mine. I love my son. He's fucking amazing. I would do anything for him.
My son works in a mine.
Bastard.
Yeah. He's working the rice fields.
Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker.
He's
I
good
love
at
how
it.
you-
He's good at it.
I love how you were in voice chat one day and you were just showing us to your kid and he was just the most bewildered little thing in the universe. Like, who the
He had
fuck
never
are
seen a
these
computer
people
before.
on the screen?
He gets very little screen time, so it's like cracked. It genuinely, it is scary. Because like we make it a point, like he gets very little screen. Like we watch cartoons in the morning while mom makes breakfast, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But he's like, if there's a screen anywhere, like if we're walking through the mall, his eyes are glued to it. It's fucking, it's like crack. I don't know if it's like dopamine
Yeah.
receptors in the brain or something.
Yeah, it's just
Uh,
bright light. Bright lights.
Baby cracked it, baby cracked it.
But yeah, no. Like if I'm not working, if I'm not like in here working on something, where I'm usually playing with him. We got like lots of toys and shit. He likes trains. We've been playing with trains a lot lately. Pretty cool about those.
No, he's gonna be a train spotter when he's older. You better stamp that out pretty quickly.
I mean, we do live in Japan. We take trains all the time, so.
Yeah, Japan do love their public transportation.
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic, dude. I
They're
can get
very good at it.
from where I live. I can get to Tokyo in like 40 minutes on one train.
Not bad.
It's fantastic.
You can get from like one side of Japan to the other side in like less than a day. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like a
Oh, yeah.
bullet, right? A bullet train. It's like
Yeah,
ordering.
Yeah. They go too fast. Like there's,
like
there's no
300
reason
something
they
miles
need to
an
go
hour.
that fast.
It's all maglev, right? So you have the only friction you're getting is from the air, right?
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
nuts.
But they're also like aerodynamic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not really slowing them down that much. Eventually they're gonna fix the air thing, and they're just gonna be able to like go faster than the speed of light. It's gonna be really.
Oh, that's kind of what the Boring Company is trying to do. Is like, so you'll be in an underground tunnel, right? But inside the tunnel will be like a vacuum, and then you'll have positive pressure inside of like the little travel ball or whatever. And because it's like a vacuum inside of the tunnel, there's no wind resistance, so you could literally go. It's just like space, right? There's no.
As
air in
fast as
space.
you want, like
Yeah,
as
they-
fast as
yeah.
you want to.
They just need to tackle that pesky gravity problem then after that. And then they
Yeah.
can go as fast as they want.
Or maglev, you know what I mean?
Pesky
But
gravity.
even then, I don't know if I'm not like a fucking electrical engineer. I'm assuming even with maglev, you're gonna have some sort of like electromagnetic eddy currents or something like that.
I know. I always
I have
fucking
no idea.
hated gravity. Always keeping me down. Ridiculous.
Like, what's that effect if you drop?
Yeah, it's like bring the dad
tube?
jokes.
Yeah.
He's like
My
the action
goodness.
dad, and I bring the dad jokes. It's ridiculous.
So
You learn it down.
I often ask this question to friends, and I don't believe I've asked you guys this question. Okay, so Thomas, Jake,
Yeah.
you know who Coco the gorilla is? Yeah, you know who Coco the gorilla is?
I'm
I've heard
familiar,
the name,
yeah.
but I'm not.
Yeah. So
Mark.
Coco the gorilla was a gorilla that they claim knew American Sign Language to a pretty good degree,
Yeah.
to where she could like ask for things and respond to things and everything like that. What would you do if you went to go meet Coco the gorilla and she was just like an asshole, like a condescending bitch? Like the first like interaction is like you signed to Coco the gorilla, like, oh, I like your bracelet, like, and then Coco's like, Coco, don't remember asking, and you're like. What?
Or just
Like,
immediately,
Coco,
just, instead of doing fucking American Sign Language, you just stick one finger up at your face.
and Coco's just like,
I'll probably have to learn,
why are you
like,
talking?
fair enough.
Why are you talking like that? I'm gorilla, but I'm not dumb. You condescending. Me condescending?
Like,
You condescending.
I just wouldn't give her the fucking banana I brought.
Alright,
Get
so
fucked.
let's,
I'm not giving her that.
Or just grab the
let's
helmet
do
from
that.
Cloud of the Chance of Meatballs, like the little monkey from there. It's like, Steve!
So let's rewind. So you've just arrived at the whatever institute of
The
zoology.
Monkey Institute, let's
Yeah.
call it.
The Monkey
And
Institute.
you go up to Coco's cage, and let's assume you know American Sign. So you look Coco dead in the eye, and you sign to Coco's like hello. You sign that to Coco. Coco looks you at the eye, and the first thing she signs to you is Markiplier. Well, how would you react?
I'd probably just die right there.
Markiplier.
I'd just collapse and die immediately.
You're like, what? And then she's like, Coco's sad. You're like, why Coco's
Coco
sad?
didn't stutter.
Why Coco's sad? And then Coco's like, another gorilla laughed, Coco, because watch Jacksepticeye compilation.
I'd just die right there. Just fucking just collapse and die
Me
immediately.
love Unis Anus, other gorilla bully me.
Other gorilla no like Unis honest. Another gorilla say me cringe for like Jacksepticeye. Top of morning.
I know, but-
review.
And another gorilla upload full Unis Honest episodes instead of just clips. What asshole.
Oh man, Coco's a dick.
Coco's such a con.
What would you do if like Coco like looked at you and said like you're cute, like Coco's flirting with you, like you cute, come here, and you just get fucked in half by a gorilla.
Like, you're really asking the real questions here, aren't you?
Once.
Just trying to make things interesting, you know.
I'll refer back to my previous answer. Abso-fucking-lutely. You know what those gorilla hands could fucking do to my cock.
Oh, dude, those long, spindly ape fingers could definitely reach a prostate. That's all I'm saying.
I know, right?
Well, this is why I always had the plan, well, before she died, of fucking the Queen at some point. Not because I specifically wanted to bang her, it's just it's like a conversation starter. You know, you go down shops and someone gets some money out at till, and I just go, I've had that.
I've had that. There you go.
just because of that, I don't care. I just want that.
Just roll around town like, hey boys, who wants to hear about my STD from the silent film era?
Who wants to see my work on the Silent Hill 2 remake? You know what
I'm
sucks?
watching stocks.
Fucking
Sorry.
the Resident Evil 4 remake sucks because I still have an Xbox One S and I can't play it. It's only on newer consoles only.
Boo.
Get fucked almost.
Fucking cringe.
It's cringe not having a next gen console.
Yeah, because that's so easily accessible. Everybody has a PS5. Why don't you? You fuck.
Well, yeah, everybody, all the cool people anyway.
Yeah.
The cool people being the basement people.
The cool people being Sir Topham Hat. What are you talking about? I fucking love Sir Topham Hat.
My plump, juicy breasts, none of your goddamn business.
You know,
I just realised that like this entire conversation, we may have lost subscribers during this.
man,
You always assume the worst, Fred. Fred, this is what people come for. The stupidness.
Yeah, but some people might have just joined in, just subscribed and all that. Just like, oh, these guys are cool, and then they just hear us talking absolute shite. And then it's like, yeah, I'm out.
Welcome to the podcast.
Well, then fuck them.
Welcome to the podcast. Please enjoy your stay.
Yeah. Welcome to Walmart. Get your shit and get out.
What was up, Jacob? Would I fuck what?
oh, would you fuck Sir Topham Hat?
Abso-fucking-lutely. You know he's double cheeked up on a Thursday.
You think he is? I think Sir Topham Hat would be a little pompous. I think he'd be really hard to get. I think he'd be coy.
I think he'd be a selfish lover.
You think so? I think he would be too. He's used to being in control.
Yeah.
I think Sir Topham Hat would be like, it's time to enter the station. And he sees himself wide open for you. He kind of demands it.
I'd still give him a go because of those curves, but he would be a very selfish lover, and I would probably cry afterwards. And
Yeah, he'd be like, they don't call me Sir
Regret
Bottomham
every
Hat.
decision you've ever made that led to this point. Have a fucking existential crisis.
Well, I mean, they call him Sir Topham Hat for a reason. But of course, he's not Sir Bottomham Hat. You know what I mean? Sir
Switch
Topham
Hat.
Hat.
Sir
Captain
Bottom.
Switch Hat.
Captain Switch Hat.
He's a power
He's
bottom.
definitely. That's why Percy's so pissed off because he has to fucking. He's the one who Topham Hat's getting it from. I think Topham Hat's fucking Percy. That's why he's so angry. I've been watching a lot of Thomas and Friends, and like my son like trains, so
Really? I can't tell.
getting deep into that Thomas and Friends.
You've really got to fucking... You've got to stamp out this trains thing. It's going to get to be problematic at some point.
No, you know, now that you brought that up, the videos I found are it's Thomas the Tank Engine, but it's like the George Carlin version of it, and because George Carlin narrated the show at one point, but there's videos of it where they switch out his stand-up material with the narration of the show, and it's fucking hilarious.
I used to do that with so Jake the dog in fucking Adventure Time.
Yeah.
And Marcus Phoenix in Gears of War.
Oh my
had the
God,
same
that's-
voice actor. His name is John DiMaggio.
Yeah.
And I used to swap out the dialogue all the time. I'd have Adventure Time dialogue. Like, I'm gonna fuck you in half. And it should be like Jake the dog getting pissed off. Then I used to. I have those videos are probably still up on YouTube somewhere.
I don't know, you could probably just switch out any of John DiMaggio's work and just put it in there, and it'd still be fucking hilarious.
Well, the easy route you could do is switch out his voices with Bender or something like "Bite my shiny metal ass."
Exactly.
I'll make my own.
Jake the dog walks in on Flame Princess and Bubblegum Princess. I thought you guys was hookers.
I'm gonna make my own planet with blackjack and hookers.
Just fucking walking out and goes, damn anti-pimping laws.
Sorry if I seem distracted. It's like almost 4 a.m. here.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He's living in the old J-Pan.
Yeah. God damn. Days to cover on AMC stock is 6.04. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm talking stonks.
Yeah.
Stonks, baby.
Fucking stonks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nino.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you got the Crazy Craver. You know who the Crazy Craver is? The honeycomb guy? Yeah. Versus the Noid. Who wins and why? Do you know who the Noid is?
Of course I know the Noid. Hold on, let me get.
Is that purple?
Let me just look up who the Noid is right quick.
No. What was the other one again? That was
The Crazy Craver. Just type in honeycomb mascot. I'm sure you'll get it. He's like a little fuzzball. Looks like a Tasmanian devil.
No, the Noid versus the Burger King.
Well, Burger King, obviously.
Crazy Craven.
Burger
Yeah.
King. Burger King always.
Versus the Noid. I'm going with Noid.
I want to go with Noid because he's a bit more cracked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to know what he does with that
Pretty
yo-yo.
cracked out too.
He's pretty cracked out, but Yo Noid's got that yo quality to him.
Yeah. And like, he's made of like clay, right? So he's stretchy. I think he's got like the Monkey D. Luffy thing going on for him. Where there's the Crazy Craver. He's just got like rabies. That's his superpower.
Yeah,
Like he's just fucking ill.
Rabies is a superpower.
foaming rat.
Yeah,
I think we should
exactly.
start putting that out there, that like rabies gives you superpowers. So like
Yeah, that's-
spreading that around, saying it's real, and so kids will start trying to get rabies.
That's why Honeycomb doesn't have him as the mascot any longer. He got rabies. It's tragic.
Just get to put it
Put him
down.
down. Yeah, they had to put him down.
Put him down like
Put him
old
back,
Yeller.
Double barrel.
I'm sorry, old Yeller. Has to go down.
There's Bigfoot, Nessie, the Chupacabra, and then the Craver.
I look how you said like Nessie and the Chupacabra. It made it sound like you said Nessie the Chupacabra. I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely what the Chupacabra's name is.
The Loch Ness Chupacabra.
The Loch Ness honeycomb mascot.
Yeah, it's a shame what happened to the Apple Jacks guys too. You know they had like the cinnamon stick and the apple in the
Yeah.
Apple Jacks commercials.
Here I come, I
Yeah,
am
like-
cinnamon.
Yeah. You know why they stopped using it too, right? Because they like entered in like a homosexual relationship with each other, and Ron DeSantis
my
was like a
God.
big donator in the Apple Jacks Corporation, so he was like, "I'll have none of this." So they both got fired. Sad.
These commercials are giving me the gay.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, "I don't want my kids
Putting the
eating
frog
that
yeah,
gay
can't
cereal."
do this.
I don't like them putting cinnamon in the cereal. That turns the freaking frogs gay.
Yeah. Well, like they said, they tried to twist this weird thing where it's like, oh yeah, he says in the commercial he's coming. He says, "Here I come," and then he comes. I don't want that in my fucking
Here I
cereal,
come, and
bro.
then he
It's gross.
comes.
Yeah, so
God
Ron
damn it.
DeSantis of
At least,
Florida.
at least he gave you a warning first.
Yeah, yeah, he's a gentleman, right? The cinnamon guy, he's a gentleman.
Yeah.
Here I
Professionals
come,
have
I'm
standards.
cinema. Yeah,
Here I
of course. I'm the winner, man.
I'm so close,
We're
man.
gonna like influence our audience and ourselves. So the next time when you're about to splooge, you just go, here I come.
I wish, goddamn, if anybody, this is a long shot. If anybody in the chat's an artist and want to draw something, can you draw like the cinnamon stick from Apple Jacks, but fucking the apple from Apple Jacks, and like have the apple be turning around looking at him, and it's like, "I told you not to come at me," you know, because he talks like that. He's pissed off, and then so the apple's looking back at him, and he says, "I told you not to come at me," and then like the cinnamon stick's got like a cum face, like an agahao face, or whatever you want to call it, and his
I told you
face
to
is
use
I'm moving
protection.
on. I'm not on the pill. You're trying to get me pregnant? I don't have Plan B.
We're gonna have weird hybrid babies.
Get an abortion, mate. That's what those Apple Jacks
Get
are. They're
no
the aborted babies of that couple. That's what Apple's like a product.
Applejack's is
It's just like
secretly a
aborted
fucking
fetuses.
anti-abortion claim.
Yeah, that's what the cereal itself is just the aborted fetuses of the love children.
Oh,
It's like
God.
when
Jeez.
when apples get pregnant, they don't have like one baby. They like spit out a bunch of them because they're like not human. So they can produce up to like 70 or 80 children per time, and they're like getting busy a lot. So like the cereal itself.
Fucking
is that.
imagine if like humans could do that. If humans, instead of just having one child, they just fucking spat out a
Have
litter.
a litter. Yeah.
Yeah, just a whole ass litter. And you go, one, the fucking the population crisis would have advanced a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And two, abortion would be very much a touchy subject. And you go, no, you're just killing one life. No, you're killing like 10. What the fuck?
I've got a whole bowl full of lives right here.
Called Apple Jacks. They're all named Jack.
None of them named Apple.
That's why they're called Jack. What the fuck is a Jack anyway? Like Apple Jacks. Like they're
Well.
apple flavored, but they're
Maybe
Like-
they're like dyslexic. Maybe it's meant to be like Jack's apples or something.
We're Jack and the apples.
With the
What
cinnamon
are
stick.
I'm gonna Google that.
Just googling it.
What
Well,
are
How are we going on time?
we're almost at an hour now. Well, actually, we're past an hour now.
Well, I just wanted to make sure we weren't going over too much.
Who gives a fuck?
Well, I mean,
We
Chad's
can
not here,
5-hour
so-
podcast if we want to.
Well, I don't know. Usually, like Chad usually just cuts off our bullshit, and just says, "Ah, no, that's enough.
Well, he's
We
not
have shit
here.
to do.
He's not here anymore. We're gonna do a 4-hour."
Yeah, we killed him.
24 hours. Get ready, gamers.
I mean, fucking. You guys know Jaden Animations, right? She's doing a fucking subathon right now.
Oh, God.
Is it?
Yeah. She's on day 7 right now.
More power to him, man. I couldn't do that. That's dedication. Apparently, Apple Jacks were originally called Apple O's, and the reason they're called Jacks is just because he liked the way it sounded. That's literally it.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Can't argue with that. Apple O's
The
does
Apple
sound a bit
O's.
weird. To be
Yeah.
honest, I wouldn't have stood for it if it was like that.
Makes more sense than Oreo O's.
Anytime I have like a circular food, I'm gonna call it a Jack. And when people ask me why, I was like, oh, dude, you could totally gaslight people with that. It's like, oh yeah, like I want like some glazed Jacks, like talking about donuts. So I want some like glazed Jacks. They have any like jelly-filled Jacks? What are you talking? Are you talking about donuts? I'm like, no, Jacks. We call them
No,
Jacks.
you just pretend like Jacks are what actually the thing, and like, oh yeah, donuts were a creation by like the government to keep people down.
Yeah.
And so
I
as
just
a
gotta
result, originally they were called Jacks, and they had to be
You gotta-
changed.
You got to keep it subtle. It's like, yeah, in Japan we call donuts Jacks. You didn't know that? Like kind of like Apple Jacks, you know? It's like because whenever like European settlers came to Japan and introduced Japan to donuts, they called them Jacks. Jacks is what the Europeans used to call them, but they later changed to donuts because everything's Americanized. But because it was the Europeans who introduced donuts to Japan, they still call them Jacks to this day, right?
Why does
oh,
that's a lie, but makes so much sense?
Yeah, that's why
how you
Apple
do
Jacks
it.
are called Apple Jacks. Yeah.
Damn
Be
fucking
subtle
American.
enough that you can like pass it off as a believable lie.
Yeah, and like they're like the only moniker of truth in that is that Apple Jacks are called Apple Jacks, and like that being true is enough to convince them everything else in that story is true, because like oh well there's the evidence.
It's
You know.
the drop bear situation. Like, oh yeah, drop bears are koalas that will just fucking kill you. The only thing that's true about that is that drop bears are just literally koalas. But everybody believes that they're just some horrifying creature.
Again, you could just make up any creature in Australia, and it's probably true.
The billabong.
The Wallaroo.
The,
Okay, that one's probably real, actually.
the absolutely.
There's a Wallaroo.
Fucking hell.
Fucking, no, we're down to fucking. No, you wouldn't believe it, mate. We was going down to fucking Bendigo. Right outside my fucking ute, there was a big ass Wallaroo. He fucking came right through my window. Gave us a big fucking scare, he did.
So
Busted up
he
the
just he
ute.
jumped straight through my window and he just started kicking the shit out of me.
Just an absolute bugger of a yowie. Just
Yeah,
showing up
fucking-
at me door.
Mm.
Fucking 9 feet tall fucker.
And then it started rapping, and then Christopher Walken was somewhere. I don't fucking know.
He said his name was Kangaroo Jack. I put my hoodie on him for take a selfie. He ran off with $1 million in the fucking pocket.
Oh
Hey,
my
he's
god,
telling us-
dude! You know fucking Nostalgia Critic, right?
Yeah,
Their first viewing of Kangaroo Jack was fucking hilarious. Because at one point, Doug is just like, at the farting camel scene, it's like, guys, we cracked the code. We cracked humor. Farting camels. Fuck! Just-
Like, Nostalgia, that's Channel Awesome, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God, the
so
fucking Mars Girl hates my ass. She can't
Yes.
stand me.
She really does.
She hates me.
Even on shit that's not even yours, that's just someone else's project that you just happen to be on. It's like, fucking dislike this, throw this.
Well, great, now she's gonna
I've
hate
never
this.
Met her. I've never met her. I've never spoken to her. She's just decided that she just hates me. She's tweeted
Well,
about me
we're never
multiple
gonna
times.
have patronage on this fucking YouTube channel.
Yeah, no.
Mars Girl, if you see this, what the
We
fuck?
don't
What did
need
I do to
it.
you?
Hey, Mars girl, suck my nuts.
Oh,
Well, now she's really gonna hate
But, like,
this, you know? Thank you.
What I
I
do?
don't know,
Like, what I do to
this already
you?
because
I don't
it
give
is
a
cool.
shit.
We're not gonna fucking.
She's talking shit on my homie. I don't accept that.
I like Channel Awesome. I did.
Not
don't know
happening.
what I
He's
did.
ruined it for us now.
I don't get it.
All relations have gone out the window. You know,
It's because you hang around certain people. We all know.
But
who
that
it
those
is.
people aren't me.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Why is it Las Vegas? I don't get it.
It's guilt by association. It's a whole
Yeah,
lot of
it's
bullshit.
weird. People are weird.
Yeah.
that's just the discourse of the day, anyway. So, well, they got a choice.
I don't
for
agree with the
example,
whole sins of the
I'm
father,
cursed
sins of the
forever
son
because
thing.
I hang around with you guys.
Yeah, I don't believe in the whole sins of the father or the sins of the son. I think I'm responsible for myself and nobody else. Just saying.
You're just saying that because you're really worried that your sins will come back to bite your son.
Like a rabid animal.
No, it's not a real thing. It's definitely not a real thing.
I see. No, I don't think I've ever been like genuinely mad at my son. I've only known him for like a year and a half though, so I don't know, maybe at least.
He's only
I've only
existed
had
on
him
this
like- I've only had
planet
him
for
for
like
that
a
long.
year-ish.
I mean, what could he have done aside from like just like put
Shit
something in his mouth
everywhere.
that he wasn't supposed to?
It's like, how dare you?
Like he can't help it. Like if he was doing it on purpose, yeah, I'd be pissed. Like if I said, all right, like no, like come potty training time. If he's just shitting himself because he's lazy and doesn't want to get up and go to the bathroom, then I'll get pissed. But, like right now, he has no
Okay,
bowel
like,
control.
like,
He
the,
just-
the
he
training
can't shit.
toilet's right there, and he just sits there and just shits himself everywhere. You bastard!
Yeah, but then I'll be mad. But right now, like he doesn't know what no means, right? So like he'll grab something, he'll go to put it in his mouth, and I'll be like no, and he'll just keep going and put it. But he doesn't. I can't be mad at him because he doesn't. It's not his fault. He doesn't know.
As soon as he figures out what the word "no" means, that's when you
Yeah.
start being
At that point, it's willful disobedience, and at that point, yeah, I probably will get a
it's
little mad at him.
insolent little shit.
Yeah.
I've just got this image in my head of your son, just like you're cleaning his ass and balls and dick and titties and whatnot. He's just like fucking like this.
My
Just
God.
blasts ass right in your face.
He's pissed on me on a couple occasions.
By the way, I almost fell the fuck over to right there. That would have been a blooper.
That would have been a great clip.
My
I'm
God.
so fucking dying here.
God.
Nah, he's pissed on me once or twice.
Based.
On
But
purpose.
he doesn't try to. He doesn't try to.
Yeah.
That's what he's into.
Yeah, he's never just walked up, pulled down his diapers, like, "Hey, Dad," and pissed on me. I'd grab his fucking little wiener and sling him around the room.
Jeez.
He's sweeping around you.
You rip it off, turn into a
Rip
girl.
off the foreskin. Just fucking.
That was weird, man. That was a
Oh,
weird thing. That like, so I don't know if any of you guys have kids or have a son.
I have a niece.
Okay, I went. My wife gave birth in the United States. Like, before moving to Japan, I was living in the United States, and my wife gave birth in the United States. And like, my wife had a pretty like intense birth because she is very small, and my son was very large. So it was pretty big birth. So we had to stay in the hospital like 2 days after just to make sure everything like healed up okay, and and like every day from like the day he was born to the due date, like every single day, the nursing staff was trying to convince me to circumcise my kid. It was weird. It was weird. Like they asked me the first time, like, all right, so are we wanting a circumcision? And I'm like, no, just I don't think it's
Yeah,
necessary.
of course. They'll ask you, and it's like, okay,
Yeah,
would
that's
you
once.
like Black Cross circumcision service? It's included
and
in the
I-
package.
And I was like, yeah, no, thank you. It's fine. And they're like, okay. And then they're like, well, you sure it provides all these health benefits? I'm like, no, just I'd rather not. Like, I'm circumcised myself. I wish I wasn't, and I.
I kind of missed that bit.
Yeah.
It's-
I wish I wasn't. I'm kind of pissed off at my parents. I think circumcision should be illegal,
Well,
but
that's
I
the
didn't.
worst
I didn't
part
go
is
off
that
on a
they
rant.
get circumcised
Yeah.
when they're born. And it's just like they don't even get a choice.
Yeah. No, I'm pissed about that. But
They don't
like
even know what they're
the
missing.
next
That's
day,
the worst
she was
part.
like, all right, so when is he going in for a circumcision? I'm like, he's not getting one. Like, are you sure? And like, and eventually, like after they asked me for like the 4th time, I was like, I like literally said point blank, leave my son's dick alone. Like at this point, it's getting kind of weird. Like I said that verbatim.
Oh, yeah, the nurse,
Like,
the nurse is going to come in to see you. Come check on your son, and she's got like a fucking pair of scissors in her pocket. And you're just like,
Well, I
right, no, get out.
like
I know what you're trying.
I don't like conflict. I don't want to. I like literally. It took me having to say verbatim, "Leave my son's dick alone. This is getting weird." Like verbatim. Like
Why are you
It's
so
so- 'cause, like-
obsessed with my son's cock?
I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat, but I think they like, I don't know. Maybe there's like fucking still stem cells in like newborn, like in the system. They send them off and sell them, or maybe they like sell I don't know like fucking baby foreskins for like.
I don't know,
Chinese
maybe they
girls
collect
or
them and collect them, so that they can sacrifice them to their gods or something.
So then, yeah, sew them together like a big flesh blanket snuggie. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, but only
Also,
problem is that
circumcision
wouldn't help
sucks.
you when it gets
Yeah.
cold.
Circumcision, circumcision for unconsenting individuals should be illegal.
Yeah.
Saying.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but
Like,
then,
if you want to get
then that would-
circumcised whenever you can make a
like,
conscious decision.
circumcision
go
wouldn't
for it.
be a thing anyway, but wouldn't be a thing if it was through non-consenting means, because the baby can't consent. It's his body.
Mhm.
So like,
No, like-
you've got to be very careful about that non-consent thing.
And it's really weird because like there are people who are pro circumcision and like think people ought to be circumcised.
Are these the
like,
people? Are these the people
it's
who are
fucking
already
weird.
circumcised and they want to make everyone else suffer?
No. No, I'm saying like there are people who are like, oh, like you don't know what you're talking about. Like I'm like, I am circumcised. I wish I wasn't. Like I don't like look, and this is true. I don't know what
Look,
sex
look.
is supposed to feel
I
like.
thought you were gonna stand up. You start doing this. No, on the screen.
Yeah, come on now.
I don't know what sex is supposed to feel like. I don't. I know what my interpretation of sex is. I know what sex feels like with.
Wait a minute.
But-
This kind of. You didn't make your son, did you? You stole him.
But like I'm missing like tens of thousands of nerve endings. And like there are weird people who are telling you like, oh, like you can still reach climax, so it's fine. Like you can you're just whining about nothing. Like, dude, it's my body. Like, fuck off. Like,
My body, my choice.
like I'm pissed. Like I don't know what it's supposed to feel like. I would like to like that's one of like the most sacred facets of life. It's one of the most like important parts of the human experience. That I
Yeah,
just
but like
don't know.
no one
I
will
just
be
don't
able to
know.
ever explain it to the other side.
Yeah.
Like for example, circumcised people will never be able to understand what it feels like for non-circumcised people,
Yeah.
and then vice versa. Like we will never understand what it feels like for circumcised. But it's just one of those things.
I
It's
would
tricky.
rather have the original
Yeah.
and what
Oh,
nature
probably.
intended.
The OG model.
What if you had a tiny Hitler clone in your pocket?
He's still not. He didn't do those things.
Nobody has all those memories.
But he thinks he did. But he did it.
God damn it. Okay, well, I think that's gone quite enough for this fucking episode.
Probably stop at some point.
Yeah, we're going like an hour 15 right now, so yeah. So that was the How the Heck Are You podcast. We're sorry for the weird direction this video turned out to. It was way crazier than
In
normal.
general.
I'm not.
Just it was way crazier than normal because
You
Chad
guys
wasn't
get
our
weirder on this
filter.
Podcast.
Yeah, but Chad's like our main filter, so we can't really do this sort of stuff that often. But
He's probably gonna make us
keeps
delete it.
monetized.
yeah. Well, we're not monetized
Don't
anyway,
delete this
so
one. Chad's gonna make us delete it.
no, it'll be
It's all good.
surely fine. But
It's fun.
anyway, thank you to Jacob and Capitano Britbong, even though I'm sure that I don't even think he contributed much to this one. He's just been silent the whole time.
I didn't really say that much.
Yeah.
You guys were flowing. You didn't really want to interrupt it.
I know he's here just for eye candy. That's what we were looking for.
Yeah. So
Exactly. Look at that sexy man.
so before we go off, is there any place we can find you guys, or people who don't really know who you are? Jacob.
No, I'm not.
I mean, I'm on Twitter. That's about it.
Yeah.
I do a Twitch stream called Dick Planet.
Ah,
There you go.
of course.
Check that out.
But that's my kind of stream.
Yeah, twitch.tv/Dick Planet. We're a partnered streamer. I don't know how, but it's
We're
there.
still partnered. It's magic. It's
I have no idea why.
Well, there you go. So anyway, that's all for this episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you for indulging our weird fucking conversations. And we'll be back next week with the regular cast. Yes. We'll be back.
Give a choice in this matter.
Yeah, thank you, Fred. Yeah, anyways, thank you all for tuning in. And we'll be back next week to see how the heck y'all are then. See y'all later.
bye. Don't cut off, baby.
Bye.
Bye.
Botane.